Hey everybody, how you all doing? My name's Dee. This channel's called Dee's Village. If we've met before, welcome. If we've not, also welcome. So thanks for taking the time to stop by. I just want to quickly talk about what is your why. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for participating in the journey. As I always say at the end of the video, if you found it useful to yourself, give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody else, and if you haven't already subscribed, then please do so. So what is your why? And that why is making reference to why do you want to move to Africa? Now, it's not a rhetorical question. I don't necessarily want you to answer it to me, but I want you to write it down. Write it down why you want to move. I'm going to talk about Gambia specifically because that's where I know more than anywhere else. Write it down. Because sometimes when you write things down, they become much realer, more evident, and as though things are really going to happen. So I would say, write it down. And when you have written down what your why is, then focus on those reasons, because that's what will keep you in check in terms of the realities of the move itself. So, it might help to envision yourself on a beach, or envision yourself owning your own business, or envision yourself building your own house, because those might be parts of your why. It might be freedom, might be part of your why. So whatever your why is, envision yourself doing those things with those people that you want to do those things with, and that will help to keep you more focused. Be realistic. Realism, be realistic. Is it realistic for you to move abroad? Is it realistic for your family to move abroad, your extended family? So think about those issues as well. Some people don't have to consider all their family. They may only have themselves to consider. But nonetheless, still, is it realistic for you? Think about the practical constraints of moving. The practicalities, all the things you've got to do, your to-do lists, and, your support systems in terms of doing that to-do lists. Are you financially solvent and sound in the country that you're in order to be able to be financially solvent and sound moving to the Gambia? What do you hope to gain by moving abroad? Again, these are questions that you can answer for yourself. There are a whole bunch of things that you can gain by moving abroad, moving to the Gambia, moving to Africa. But those are questions that you need to answer for yourself. And why I say that is because when times get tough, when you're in the Gambia, then you'll want to hold on to those reasonings, that rationale, that logic of why you made those decisions that you wanted to go in the first place. And just as a side note, are you running away from things? When I say running away, I'm not talking about if you're running for your life, not that sort of run away, but if you're running away from internal things, will there be any different when you move to another continent? Just a question. So, is it a desire? Is it a want? Is it a grass is greener on the other side? Is it I have to? Is it a spiritual journey? Is it just something you want to experience? It doesn't matter the answer. It's just for you to have these thought processes and these considerations, because that might help you to nail down whether you're going to participate in the journey itself. Okay? Also consider, what will your support networks be when you get to Gambia? Who's going to support you? You could be coming with a partner, a husband, a wife, extended family. You might have family there. Gambia might be a native country. You might be returning to Gambia. Is there an expat, repat community that you can tap into? Those are all things for consideration, because support networks or people that have done similar things or are doing something similar are really, really important to consider, because somebody who's walked that journey, who's had part of those experiences, will probably be very useful to you as an individual or your family, whoever you're going with. Okay, and as I always say, can you live abroad without visiting first? Yes, I'm sure you can. And many people do, many people have done, and many people will continue to do. It matters not, those are choices for you to make as individuals, but it's just the question of, well, it's not a question actually. I would say, and I always have said, come, visit, look. You know, Africa is beautiful, the Gambia is beautiful. So come and look first. That would make more sense to me. But for those of you who don't wish to do it that way, then you do it the way that that you choose to. I just think if you visit first, you can get a sense of, is this somewhere you could live? You just come, you observe life as it is happening there, people in their day-to-day and whatever experiences they're living, and your observations of their experiences, and whether you can fit within all of that. So I think it's worth visiting first, and especially for an extended period of time if you're able to do that. Your why might be finances. You might say, my book, my dollar, my sterling is much better in the Gambia, so I know that I'll have a better quality of life because I can afford more. But you know, there's always a caveat. Gambia is inexpensive in many ways because you don't have your day-to-day bills as you do in Europe, England. But naturally there are other expenses. And, you know, I don't know, people say it's cheap and it's inexpensive. I would argue the difference. But again, those are things that you might get more clarity on when you visit yourself. Okay. Why was the question that I posed at the beginning. But also, so your why is personal to you as an individual. So just jot those things down so that you can stay focused on your Africa plan, your back to Africa, reconnecting with Africa. Okay, everybody, that's all I've got for you today. So if you found that useful, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks for coming back. And as always, walk good, walk good. It's been Dee's Village until another good time we out of here. Kairo.